You're watching KCR Secret Sessions with our special guest, Grace Mitchell.
What's up, everybody? This is Renee, and this is KCR College Radio's Secret Sessions. I'm here with Grace Mitchell at the Observatory, North Park. Is this your first time performing in San Diego?
Yes, yeah.
Really? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm really stoked. This venue is very cool.
Do you, have you been to San Diego, though, before?
No, actually, it's my first time ever in San Diego. I haven't traveled a lot outside of Los Angeles. I haven't checked out the rest of SoCal.
Oh, so you're originally from Oregon, born and raised?
Not born. I was born in Australia, which is like not very relevant to like my life anymore. But I grew up in Oregon.
Oh, how long were you in Australia?
I was there from when I was born to about 3.
Okay, so you didn't pick up like an accent.
No. Yeah, like I said, it's like not very relevant.
Yeah.
But like I moved to the U.S. My mom was born and raised in Eugene, Oregon, and we moved back to Oregon when we came back to the U.S.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And how long were you in Oregon?
I was in Oregon from the time that I was like probably 4 until what would that be? Like 16? 16 or 17. But in between, we moved to Utah, and we were back and forth. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
And how are you liking your move to LA? It's like very different vibes in Oregon.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
I love LA. It's like I prefer it to living in Portland only because I feel like I have a tighter community here. I felt kind of isolated when I was living in Portland. And now I feel like I'm like in a perpetual state of being surrounded by so many like creative, like-minded individuals that it's just really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you moved for the music?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And when you first moved, I was reading, you worked with Mark Foster?
Yes.
How did that happen, like so sudden?
I mean, it's not like a very exciting story actually. We share publishers, and so my publisher contacted him and was like, "Do you want to work with this girl?" And we set up a session, and it ended up working out really well. And we like each other's musical taste, and
Nice.
Our sounds are so different that they like kind of complement one another. And so we've worked together ever since, and did pretty much the entirety of the Race Day EP together.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, thanks.
So when you were 16, is that when you decided like to pursue a career in music, or like did you come from like your family was musical? Like?
Yeah, I mean, my mom was pretty musical. I would say that a lot of my musical influence came from her. Oh my God, this is so cool. But yeah, my mom was really into music, and that's kind of like how I started getting into music. I started playing guitar because she kind of prompted me to, and then writing songs. And I just had I really enjoyed writing songs and doing creative writing, and I was pretty good at it, so I just pursued it.
And because you're 18,
yeah,
and I feel like when people were you homeschooled, or are you into like public school?
No, I took public school my whole academic career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like people get sucked into like senior year, everyone's going to college and like applying.
Oh, totally, yeah.
And we were just like, nah, like I want to be a singer. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
Was that it?
Yeah, I didn't actually finish high school.
Really?
Yeah, I moved down to LA at 16, like kind of a third of the way through my junior year. This is really funny.
Was that like a big deal, or your mom was like supportive?
Yeah, my mom was super supportive.
That's
She was really supportive. Both my parents were really supportive, and ended up working in our favor. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, working in my favor. They both live in not California, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure your friends missed you.
Yeah, I'd say so. I had like a couple friends. They all were seniors though when I was like a sophomore, so they all went to college before me, and then at that point I didn't really have like a lot of friends.
Rolling with the older crew.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. It's the only way.
And do they like, when you're like in their city, do
Yeah.
you hit them up and say say they go to college there? Like, I'm performing, come to my show.
Yeah, sometimes. On my last tour, my friend Savannah, who was my best friend in high school, came to my show in Pittsburgh. She goes to college there, a college called California University of Pennsylvania.
It's kind of deceiving.
Yeah, it's Cal U, Penn State. Doesn't make any sense.
No, not really. So I was reading one of your songs early on was in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Yes.
Mitty?
Yes.
How was that? Was that like, whoa?
Yeah, it was cool. It was like, whoa. They hit me up and my label hit me up and asked me if I'd be interested in doing a Hall & Oates cover. And of course I was, because I'm a huge fan of Hall & Oates, especially Daryl Hall. And the song was Man Eater, and we ended up going in with a producer, and I just kind of put my own like little electronic spin on it. And they chose the song, which was cool because there were a lot of submissions. So
That's awesome. Did you actually see the movie, or did you?
Yeah,
I
saw the movie. It's good. It was inspiring.
It was good. I didn't see it, but I have to see it.
It's good. It's good.
Wait, is that the one with Ben Stiller?
Yeah, Ben Stiller's in it.
Okay, I did see it. Never mind. So, what's your daily routine? Do you have one?
Daily routine. I would say when I'm in Los Angeles, if I have a session booked, a lot of my day is just kind of preparing for that session. If I don't have a session booked and I just have like a day off,
what do you like to do on your days off?
I like start with a little workout. I'll probably do a little yoga. I've been really getting into acrylic painting lately.
Oh, nice.
I know it sounds cheesy and stupid, but I'm
No.
pretty much totally into it at this point. And I'll do a little bit of that. I love to read and hike, and I live in a really wonderful part of Echo Park, so I just kind of will walk around as well.
Do you like to hike Runyon a lot?
Runyon's awesome. My favorite hike in LA is Temescal Canyon.
Haven't done it.
It's good.
There's one in
San
Topanga.
Marco. Topanga's really cool. There's a place called Eagle Rock hike in Topanga Canyon. It's my favorite hike there. Just FYI, little pointers.
For the fans?
For the fans.
You might flounder there?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
With your boyfriend?
Yeah, with my boyfriend. We go sometimes, yeah.
How long have you guys been together?
We've been together, we met at a music festival called Sasquatch.
It's in Washington, right?
It's in Washington. It's in George, Washington. And we met it was like 2.5 years ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been together ever since.
Is he like a musician too? Or into
No, it's funny. He's like the most totally competent, non-musical person you'll ever meet. He's like so massively like immersed in music, and he's not a musician at all. So he like knows like
He's
so
supportive,
much
that's
music
all that
history.
counts.
He's really supportive, but he doesn't know anything about like actual like being a musician, which
Right.
is like super ideal because I need someone who's into music but also is not competitive with me.
Right.
So yeah.
Where does most of your song inspiration come from when you write a song?
Most of my song inspiration comes from just like daily observation and relationships with people, and but a lot of the time I get inspired really spontaneously. So when that happens, I'll just have like my iPhone and do a little voice memo.
I was gonna say like grab a napkin and write on it, but I guess that's
yeah,
like real
sort
old
of.
school.
If there's no iPhone available, I'll do that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you get any inspiration from him?
From him?
No.
Yeah, I've written a couple songs about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be straight up.
What's your favorite song that you're performing tonight?
Probably Nolo, because a lot of people know Nolo. They sing along, and that is always really cool to see. It's
Yeah.
always very like weird watching people sing to my lyrics. Like at this point, I've been to enough shows where I've seen that often, and every time it's like still bizarre.
It's like cool.
Yeah, it's still like, oh, people actually care? Wow, it's shocking. Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Your sound, when I was listening to you, it's like refreshing because you're a young artist, but I can't say you're young because I'm only a year older. Like, you're not that much younger. And I'm sure people ask you like, oh, how do you have this much success when you're young? And you're like, duh, I just like work hard,
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think that that question is always really bizarre when people ask me like when people try and like correlate my age to like how much success I have, because it's just like it seems like one, they're cutting me short saying
Yeah.
that like young people can't have success, which I think is really bizarre because most successful people started from a young age, and most creative people started from a young age. So I think it's irrelevant right now in this day and era to think that like young people can't be artistic. I think that's really bizarre and
I completely agree.
yeah, backwards.
Yeah. So where are you looking to perform on this tour though?
Well, we're finishing out in LA, so this tour is pretty much officially over, but my favorite place that I've been on tour thus far is probably Chicago. I had no idea how awesome Chicago was.
Chicago's pretty awesome.
Chicago's very, very cool. And so is Kansas City, Missouri.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising. No
don't-
offense
yeah.
to Kansas, Missouri.
Don't say that.
Cut that out. Sorry.
It's okay.
So in the future, is there any artists you want to really collaborate with or producers you want to work with?
Yeah, there's like a few. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but like I'm already so thankful for all of the cool interactions that I've had with other artists thus far. It's just like really overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of cool collaborations, Fossil People being one of them. So yeah, there's gonna be some good stuff happening in the future.
Yeah. And let's see, what's the best advice someone has ever given you about this industry? About your career, about music, or just about life?
One of the best pieces of advice that I'm just kind of like following right now is, sounds really stupid and cliche, but like give your all. And like life will go, unless there's a lot of struggles in your life will generally go the way that you want it to if you have the right energy invested in it. And it's really hard to keep your head high when like things happen, but for the most part, like you can dictate how your future goes. And like I am in like a perpetual state of telling myself that.
And is that advice you'd give to anyone else kind of young pursuing music?
Yeah, I'd say that advice is pretty ambiguous, but the biggest bit of advice that's a little bit more precise is like I say a lot that you don't try and be unique. Like don't try and be an individual. Don't try and be different.
It's interesting because
but seriously, don't try and be different, because if you'll be different by being yourself. Like everyone is different. So if you just kind of cultivate the things that you already have and keep on like manifesting them, then you will be different. And I think that's funny because there's this weird type of stigma around being an individual nowadays, where there's like so much pressure to be an individual. I think is like really unhealthy. And the thing that people don't realize is that you will be an individual by just being yourself.
Yeah.
So I am actually always telling myself that as well. Just like follow things that I like, and I will end up being unique. You. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Well, I think that's about it. Is there anything you want to tell your fans that I didn't ask you that you want them to know?
Yeah, for sure. Go by Race Day.
Go by Race Day.
Go by Race Day. Know the name. Grace Mitchell.
Okay.
Namaste. Do you surf?
Do I surf? I took a surfing class.
Yeah, well, that's way more badass than what I've ever done. I have not taken a surfing class yet, and I wish to. Being down in San Diego has kind of inspired me.
It's harder than it looks, especially now. El Nino makes the waves like 10 feet tall.
Yeah, yeah.
I took the class for like a whole semester, didn't stand up once. So.
For a whole semester?
Yeah.